Imagine you are trying to decide whether to play football today or not. Instead of guessing, you just ask yourself a question. Is it raining actually? Yes. If it is yes, stay home. If it is no, ask another question. Is it sunny? If it is yes, go play football. If it is no, stay home. This is exactly how decision tree works. It kind of like makes decision by asking one question at a time. So let's give a real life example using a banking system. Okay, imagine a bank wants to kind of like know whether someone should receive a loan. Instead of randomly approving people, hey, you approve, it kind of like ask a very sensible question like, does this person have a job? Yes. If yes, is the salary above 3,000 or 4,000? Yes. If yes, approve. If no, reject. All right. So that's actually how decision tree works. So if we take a very good look at this picture right here, we can see that it is called a tree because of how it looks. So for example, we have the age greater than 30 and two arrows drawn between the two of them coming down yes and no. If it is yes, then you have to check on another condition. Is a salary greater than 5,000? If it is greater than 5,000, we draw two arrows going down. If it is yes, kind of like approve it. If it is no, reject it. If the person from the very beginning is not greater than 30, if the person is not more than 30 years old, just reject that particular loan. All right. So that's basically how it works. So let's bring it down to machine learning. Now we have the decision tree right here. You can see I've created a file, decision tree. We have to do our necessary import first of all. But the first thing first is we have to install Pandas and install the necessary files. If you haven't installed these files, these libraries, just go ahead and install them right now. For me, I have, so there's no need to do that. Now coming to the file, the first thing is to import Pandas, and I will import that as PD, as we usually do. The next one is a scikit-learn. I can come here, scikit-learn the model selection. The reason for this is to actually have the capability to kind of like separate our training data between the test and the training files or data sets. So now we go into the next one. From this, we want to import the model from sklearn. We're going to go sklearn tree, and we will import the decision tree classifier. Okay, so the next thing first is to actually create a small data set. You can actually go later and make this bigger, but we just want to create a very good example right now. So I'm just going to keep it simple as possible. So the first thing first is to create our data set. Here, I'm just going to come here, data sets, and I've prepared just a little one here. This is the age, and this is salary of those people, and these are the approved. Right here, we have the ages. The 0 here are saying not approved. The 0 is like saying no, and the 1 is for yes, approved. Okay, does that make sense? Now, the next thing we want to do is to actually separate our features and labels. It's very, very important. So I'm going to call this separate features and labels. So here I'm going to do X, which we use a lot of times to kind of like denote, what we have going on. Here I'm going to go call data frame. And what is actually our data frame? We did not convert this here. I think most of the time we forget that, but this is how you do it. We use our pandas to kind of like convert this to something that a machine can understand, right? So we come here and define df, and we call the PD data frame, and we kind of pass in our data right here. All right, that's all we need to do. So usually I will say let's go ahead and print this to see our data, but this is just a small data set. We can clearly see it here, so we'll skip that for right now. All right, so moving forward, what we have next is to actually separate them, kind of like separate the feature from the label. So here I'm just going to go ahead and call the data frame we had earlier, and inside here our feature will be now what? Age, and we will go to the next one. The next one is going to be what? The salary. All right, so once we have that right there, we want to go with our label right now. Our label is going to be what? It's going to be, what are we looking for at the end of the day? If the students will be approved, right? So this will become our approved. All right, you got to make sure the spellings are the same as this. Otherwise, you will actually encounter error while you go. So the next one is to actually split our data. split our data. How do we split our data? Basically, we've said this a lot of times. You can go back to our previous tutorials to kind of get this particular picture. So yeah, I'm just gonna go Y train, and I will go Y test. We're split into two, and we are getting this from this particular part we created up here, which is train text split. We use that particular one right there to actually split everything up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say train text split. I'll open that up, and the very first argument will be our X, and the next one will be our Y. The next one will be the text size. And just because we have a little data sets, and I'm just going to give this 0.2. And the next one will be the random state. Random state usually will be 42. All right. So once we do that, for those of you who actually don't know what's going on here, basically, we kind of like just we separated this whole data into training and testing data, because whenever you want to kind of like train a model, you want to keep some data aside for testing, so that the model kind of like you kind of like see if the model is actually learned from the training data set. Okay, so here we separated them. We've given 80% to used for learning, and we've given 20% right here to the testing data set. That's why we have 0.2. So it's going to take 20% of this whole data and keep that for testing, and then the rest of it for training. Okay. All right, now let's actually create the decision tree itself. Create decision tree. All right, so this is where we come in. We have model. We were going to call that decision tree, the one we call up there, decision tree classifier, coming in from the sklearn. Okay, so once we have that right now, what we want to do is it's time for us to actually train our model. Now, how do we train this? I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna call this train, and I will say something like model dot fit. All right, that's what we use, and here we're going to pass our S train. Remember, we separated it, and we want to pass in our Y train as well here. All right, so after doing that, our model is trained right now. It has learned the relationship between the whole data set we have here, the age, the salary, and the approved. Now it's time for us to test it out. Let's test it and see. We're going to call this predict. We test it out by coming down to say prediction. I'm going to say set dot equals to model dot predicts. Okay. And in here, what are we predicting actually? I want to predict if this person is 40 years old and they have 70,000 as their salary. We want to know if they're going to be approved or not. So we're going to go ahead right here and print that to see our prediction, to see if this model is working or not. All right. So after that, we can now run our program by doing, I'm just going to go down here by doing Python 3. And the name of our file is decision tree and .py. All right. So if we run this right now, it's going to train and then eventually predict this. Let's see what it returns. All right, good. You can see right here, it says one meaning that this particular loan is approved. Okay, that's what it means right there. The decision tree usually have some type of, weakness in terms of, imagine asking one friend for advice. Okay, sometimes they're wrong and sometimes they overthink things. Sometimes they kind of like have bad decisions, right? That's exactly what happens. And one direction of that particular tree can overfit. Now, if you haven't watched my video on overfitting and underfitting, I'm going to be pasting the link up here. You can go back and watch that video. Okay, so that's one of the downside of this. Okay, but anyway, nonetheless, it's kind of like great. It's very easy to understand. It's easy to explain. It's very fast, and it works with numerical and data and text data set as well. Okay. With that being said, let's get down into what we have next. Tree. So instead of asking one person, imagine asking 100 experts. So each expert kind of like give their own answer, right? Then everyone kind of like votes. Each and every one of those experts are kind of like vote, and whichever answer gets the most win. Okay, whichever answer gets the most win, that is the random forest. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so Forest, let's talk about that. One tree. Now, if we talk about decision tree, we talk about many tree. Does that kind of like make sense? So random forest is like more like tree one approved, tree two approved, tree three reject, tree four approved. The final answer is actually approved, and the reason for that is because we have more than tree one approved, tree two approved. Even if tree number three is kind of like not approved, number four was approved. So we have the highest number of approved trees is higher than the rejected ones. So we kind of like at the end of the day, it kind of gives us a final answer approved, right? That is actually much more smarter as opposed to just following one line, okay? Decision tree, just particular one, particular three. Now we have the forest, all different trees all together, right? So why is this actually better? So if one tree makes a mistake, the other one can correct it. So that's why random forest is usually, it kind of like perform better than decision tree. All right, so let's get into the code. Here we're going to use the same thing we have earlier. We just have to change some things here. I'm going to change just a little thing. I'm going to copy these, and now let's call me and create a file. I'm going to call this forest.py, and I'll paste this, but we are not doing this anymore. So we are importing from a symbol because we're going to change this. This is not going to be decision. It's going to be random forest classifier. Okay, that's the only thing you have to change. Every other thing remain the same. All right, so now after doing that, we have to come and create our model here. We call this create model, and I'll come here and say forest. We'll set that equal to and initialize this random classifier right here. Once we have that, the next thing is to actually train it. Let's go ahead and call this train, and you know already how to do this. We call our forest and we call the fits, okay? And we pass our x train, very important. We pass our x train. Did we actually oh no, sorry, we did not copy this. We got to copy this one here and bring it down into the forest here. So I'm gonna bring it down here, and yes, we're gonna have our x train right there, train, and we have a y train. All right, that's how you train it. And the next thing you want to do is time for us to actually predict the whole thing. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I'm gonna call predicts, and we're just gonna set that up. And now we're gonna say predict will be equal to, we're calling our model, which is forest. Sorry, we're calling forest, and forest. What am I doing? My hand's just going too fast. Forest.predict. Okay, so now we open it up and let's predict. Let's say we have 40 and we have age 40 and we have 7,000, right? Which is more like the same thing we had earlier. Let's look at our result. We're going to print that, and we're passing our predicts, and we'll save that. When we clear this up and try to run it, Python 3, I'm going to go forest. All right, when we go forest right here, the py, let's run that and see what we have here. All right, see, we got the same answer right here, and the decision tree is just question 1, question 2, then go decision. That's what we have on the decision tree. But on the random forest, think of it as a forest where you have different trees. Okay, now the tree 1, tree 2, tree, all of those things, they kind of like vote, and the ones that get the highest wins, and that will become our prediction. Right here we have the prediction to be 1 here. Okay, so it's very, very simple. Now, some of you might be asking a question: when should we actually use decision tree, and when should we use random forest? Now, if you want to use decision tree, I would suggest when you have a small data set, go ahead and use decision tree. When you want easy explanation, go ahead and use decision tree. If you have some business rules, go ahead and use decision tree, because it's going to help you with that. If you want learning machine learning, just decision tree will be good. What about random forest? If you have a large data set, if you have stuff like if you're expecting higher accuracy, if you're expecting real world prediction, And if most of the time, if you want a production system, you really want to go with the random forest as opposed to going with a decision tree. Okay, so that's just all we got for today. So thank you very much for joining this tutorial. If you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you right now. That's the only way you can support me to kind of like keep making those videos. And I really appreciate you taking your time to come into this channel. I believe you'll subscribe now, right? Okay, let's keep it going. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now.